the small, forgotten town of Ashwood, where the trees leaned in like conspirators whispering secrets, lived a boy named Marcus. He was neither the strongest nor the brightest, but he had an insatiable desire to be noticed, to be admired by his peers. His friends, a motley crew of thrill-seekers and pranksters, always pushed him further, each dare more reckless than the last. One autumn evening, under the dying light of the sun, they gathered around an old, abandoned factory known to be cursed by the townsfolk. Whispers spoke of a worker who died there, whose spirit lingered, seeking retribution for the life cut short. Marcus's friends, with their eyes glinting with mischief, dared him to spend the night in the factory, to walk through the most haunted part, the basement where the accident had occurred. Laughing off the fear, Marcus agreed, his heart pounding not just with terror, but with the thrill of potential glory. As night fell, the group left him at the factory gates, their laughter fading into the night, leaving him with only the echo of his own breathing and the rustle of leaves. The factory was a labyrinth of shadows and creaking metal. As Marcus descended into the basement, the air grew colder, each step echoing ominously. He felt watched, the presence of something ancient and malevolent. The deeper he went, the more he noticed the walls, covered in scribbled warnings and names, some scratched out as if to erase their very existence. Suddenly the silence was broken by a voice, not human, but a whisper that seemed to come from the walls themselves. "Do you seek fame, boy?" it hissed. Marcus, frozen in fear, nodded, unable to speak. The voice continued, "Then perform one last act. Open the door at the end of this hall, but know this. Once opened, it cannot be closed." With every step towards the door, Marcus felt an overwhelming dread, but the thought of his friends' cheers spurred him on. The door was ancient, with symbols etched into its wood, symbols that seemed to pulse with a life of their own. With a trembling hand, he turned the handle and pushed. What lay beyond was not what he expected. Instead of a room, there was a void, a swirling mass of darkness that seemed to suck the light from around it. From this darkness, hands reached out, not human but spectral, grabbing at him with an icy grip. Marcus tried to scream, to run, but the hands pulled him closer. "You wished for fame," the voice now laughed, "and now you shall be famous among the lost." The next morning, when his friends returned, expecting to find Marcus triumphant, or at least scared out of his wits, they found nothing. The factory was silent, the basement door ajar. But in the dirt outside, they found Marcus's name, freshly carved into the ground, with the chilling words beneath it, "Here lies one who sought glory in darkness." Days turned into weeks, and Marcus's disappearance became the talk of Ashwood. His name was whispered in fear, his story told to scare children into obedience. His friends, once so eager for thrills, were now haunted by guilt and fear, each of them seeing Marcus in nightmares, his eyes pleading, his voice a silent scream from beyond the veil. The ultimate cost of Marcus's quest for admiration was not just his life but his very soul, trapped forever in the cursed factory, a warning to all who would seek fame at any price. His friends learned too late that some doors, once opened, lead to places from which there is no return.